This video is to give an overview of the review for the midterm. The midterm and the final in this class are both essay format, meaning that they are short answers, so each answer needs to be a full paragraph in length. While there may be multiple questions within the question, the entire answer needs to be at least a full paragraph. Sometimes it will call for more than a paragraph in length in order to adequately answer that question, but that's of course up to you. Most of the time you'll realize, oh, it's probably going to take me longer than 4 sentences to answer this question in the detail that the professor probably wants for me to receive full credit. So the review for the midterm, it can be found in a separate module, and the midterm encompasses the introduction, tragedy of the commons, consumption, sustainability, ethics, and economics and policy. You'll have 2.5 to 3 hours to take the exam, and once you open the portal, you need to finish the exam. So you can't like walk away and then come back. So you need to make sure that you have 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours of pure time just to sit in front of the exam. Now that can definitely be shortened because the review for the midterm holds all the answers that you'll find on the midterm exam. So what you could do is actually type out the answers before the midterm exam and then copy and paste into the portal. So that really means that the exam is taken well before the exam in the preparation. One important thing is that it's really essential that you use the correct web browser and you make sure you don't have more than one tab open when you're taking your midterm exam. The exams can get a little clicky, especially if you have 100 different tabs open. Of course, that can make it slower for you to submit your midterm exam. So it is best for you to prepare before the midterm. So if you see here, I've broken out the questions that you'll get. The questions that you will be asked on the midterm into sections, and this is for you to easier locate the answers for the questions so that you're not like going back and forth in the modules. You're one by one. Now on the midterm they might be mixed up, but here in the preparation I've kind of evenly have them spaced out. So right here under session 1, what are the main reasons for uncertainty in our understanding of the environment and how does the scientific method help us? This can be found in the introduction chapter in the textbook, and in some cases it can be found in the PowerPoint. So you want to look for that. There's definitely different reasons for it, and the scientific method definitely helps us. Why are negative and positive feedback loops important for the environment? This also can be found in the introduction chapter of the textbook or the PowerPoint, the introduction PowerPoint. And the answer is just not because they bring homeostasis, so you need to make sure that you incorporate into their examples of it and how they work. As we move to session 2, which sometimes is incorporated into session 1, is tragedy of the commons. So why a lot of these answers right here, these first couple questions deal with the actual article by Garrett Hardin under tragedy of the commons, so you'll have to reread it if you haven't read it yet. Why do we use mutual corrosion to protect the commons? Does it work as per the article? Why does a welfare state not help to protect the commons? And why do technical solutions not work in solving commons problems? And this can be found in the lecture. You can use information from the lecture. You definitely need to use information from the article. The next question, when are invasive species considered tragedy of the commons? And this can be found in the lecture, also in the PowerPoint on tragedy of the commons. The next deals with the chapter 2 of the textbook PowerPoint, as well as chapter 2 in the textbook. Explain how our current views of the environment have been formed, and be sure to include why religion plays a role in your answer, so you want to make sure you answer that. And that, remember again, can be found in the textbook chapter 2 or the lecture, video lecture. Can we put a monetary value on clean air or forests? This can be the Pricing the Priceless article, as well as the PowerPoint or the textbook chapter 2. And then what are some of the controversies with contingent value, and why are the issues around that? And you'll see reasons for that is, a lot of it has to do with the fact of what we're willing to pay, what we actually pay, and there's a couple other issues. Preservation versus conservation, this can also be found in the video lectures, or as well as the PowerPoint, as well as the textbook chapter on Chapter 2. Explain the difference between a conservationist and a preservationist as they relate to this class. Remember, you don't use the protecting buildings in there because that's an outside definition, not from the definition in this class. And then, how was the Hetchy controversy a decisive moment between conservationists and preservationists? And this again can be found in the video lecture or the textbook chapter. Session 4, why can we not live on a linear system in a finite world? And how does our consumption activities addressed in the story of stuff contribute to the issues surrounding the linear systems? Remember, the linear system is in a line. There's an input and an output. That output is not put back into the input again. And perceived obsolescence, planned obsolescence, and externalization of costs all support that role. So the story of stuff is a wonderful source for this information. So it's about a 20-minute short video that will help you with that. Session 5, which is fair trade. You want to know what fair trade is. Why is it coming under criticism? And this can be, of course, found in the podcasts for this session, as well as sometimes maybe in the overview. And why is fair trade essential in our quest to stop that linear system model? You want to use some critical thinking here, thinking about the linear system, and then think about what fair trade is and how those two can close that system. The last question deals with sustainability, and you're going to have to research a sustainable company. You can use some of the companies that I have given you in the sustainability PowerPoint, or you could also use the Grid magazine. Please do not search the internet that says top 10 sustainable companies, or remember, you'll get major corporations that sometimes are not sustainable. Remember, usually smaller businesses are more sustainable than the larger businesses. So this gives you, and then you're going to have to explain why that company is sustainable. So remember, it needs to meet the 3 Ps, or the people, profit, planet, or economic, social, or environmental. So you need to explain how they meet those. Okay, so hopefully this overview gave you a little bit of ways that you can find the information for the midterm exam. Remember, preparation before the midterm, actually typing out well thought out answers and then copying and pasting into the midterm portal. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out.